Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Welcome everyone. I'm actually smiling because I'm supposed to be running in and not sitting as Jason Williams usually does. Ryan Beach is sitting in for Jason Williams for a second day. Tomorrow I'll also be here while Jason will be back on Thursday. Welcome to the Morning Brew on Tuesday morning. So glad to be in your company. Lots to unpack over the next 2 hours. We had a wonderful program yesterday that translated throughout the day. The content that we would have had on the program reverberated throughout the course of yesterday on Monday, setting the tone for the new week here in Trinidad and Tobago, and so it will continue this morning. Let's pop up the TNT Guardian newspaper's front page very early on with Gerald Ramdeen, the attorney heading the new NGC board. It's a very interesting appointment, one that has been met with criticism in some circles, but the Energy Minister, Dr. Rudal Munilal, expressing confidence in the attorney to lead the National Gas Company. Dr. Randy Ramadas Singh, who served as lead director for less than a month, is out. The deputy chairman of the NGC is Ramnarayan Badesi. The other directors include Nazim Sajad, Dr. Ramprasad Motilal, Dr. Ahmad Khan, Steve Sitahal, Rohini Ramai Peters, Professor David Alexander, and Joseph Tony. Below there, you would see a picture of the farewell for Hansley Hanuman Singh, Dr. Hansley Hanuman Singh, who passed away at the age of 83 on the 4th of July. His funeral was yesterday at Currep Presbyterian Church, where there was a lot of tributes, but the most important one is his lasting legacy, as by that man on the screen, Gideon Hanuman Singh, his brother, who said that he was actually in the process of penning his biography when he passed away, and it is incomplete, and he's hoping that legends in this country of history, such as Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh, such as Dr. Primnath Gupta, who's a national award winner, or at least recipient, that they will take up the mantle and complete Dr. Hansley Hanuman Singh's biography. Of course, his voice being one that echoed through the ages of history in independent Trinidad and Tobago. And so his legacy will be very important when it comes to the work that he would have been able to do in Trinidad and Tobago and really beyond in the Caribbean region. I think I'm at liberty to say that one of his lasting legacies, one of his last projects that he was working on, would have been a Caribbean cultural showcase. That's what he wanted to do, Dr. Hansley Hanuman Singh. He wanted to have a Caribbean cultural showcase in what would have been his swan song. Unfortunately, didn't get the opportunity to finish that. But what he did leave, Dr. Hanuman Singh, was he left a legacy within the very people that he impacted that can carry on that legacy, that can carry on the project that he started when it comes to this cultural showcase. It's a huge loss for Trinidad and Tobago. We are this morning much poorer as a nation without him than we were while he was here, and we really need to honor him in many ways through the legacy that he would have left. Let's also check out the TNT Guardian's back page this morning, where the West Indies sank to a new low yesterday, being bowled out for just 27. It's going to be the top story that we will deal with this morning. In many ways, there are lots of criticisms that we should be leveling and could be leveling against the West Indies this morning. But I think at this moment, at this juncture, given what happened yesterday, it's very easy to become emotional. It's very easy to allow those emotions to allow you to go onto Facebook or Twitter or X or Instagram or whatever else there is and emotionally write whatever you feel. I think what's important, though, more important, is a sober conversation surrounding what happened yesterday. There is a lot of blame to go around. We can blame the coach, we can blame the captain, we can blame the selectors, we can obviously blame the board, as we have done for many years. However, it's also important for us to soberly understand that the blame does not lay squarely at the doorstep of one particular person or of one particular organization. The low that West Indies sank to yesterday, being bowled out for just 27 runs, has been layered, and it's been coming for a while. And those who have been following and analyzing West Indies cricket may not be entirely surprised, or maybe they would be surprised, because I follow West Indies cricket. I was very surprised. But in reality, such performances are something that we ought to have seen coming. Maybe not at this low, but having done so well against Australia in terms of the bowling department, and then to just be floored, or as Ian Bishop put it, to have submitted in the way that we submitted to the Australians at 27 runs speaks to the rock bottom that West Indies cricket has hit. And I know our producer this morning was joking that we can go lower than this. But it speaks to a low that I've never seen in my lifetime, supporting West Indies cricket, being a lifelong supporter of West Indies cricket. But what is important most of all is the conversations that surround. And I'll be very honest with everyone. I got on the phone last night with a number of former West Indies cricketers, way back when, and also quite recently retired. And the feeling is of frustration. The feeling is of hurt. We are all hurt. And I'm not saying that there are those supporters who would laugh at the team and then shrug it off and go about it. No. And then there are some who will actually try to analyze what happened, how did we get to this point, and where did we go from here. I'm one of those. And the conversations from those West Indies legends, and some of them who would have played in the early 90s, is that there is a sense of confusion, even for them, who would have played when the West Indies was the West Indies, mighty West Indies. There's a sense of confusion. And so that's why I say there is a lot of confusion within our heads right now. There is a lot of emotions in our heads right now. We are all very disappointed. Some of us are very angry. Some who are even closer to the West Indies team, who have worn that crest, ought to be very angry this morning and emotional. However, if we don't have a very sober conversation based on clarity and try to assess really how we got here, that's the first thing. How did we get here? When did it start? How did we get here? What were the layers on top of layers being built on top of each other that got us to this point? And then where do we go from here? If we don't have such a sober conversation on West Indies cricket, then it really defeats the purpose of trying to come back from 27 all out against Australia yesterday. What's even more alarming is that about 2 years ago, can't remember the exact date, but it was about 2 years ago, CARICOM, heads of government, all traveled to the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain for a CARICOM cricket conference. And this is what I mean when I say that there is no one singular person to be blamed or one singular organization to be blamed, because CARICOM, the CARICOM heads of government, every one of them traveled to Port of Spain. The president of Guyana couldn't make it. He did a half-hour presentation. Half hour, he spoke for a half hour on West Indies cricket because he couldn't make it. But he still did a video presentation and sent it. They all saw themselves as stakeholders. CARICOM saw the importance and urgency of trying to reverse the fortunes of West Indies cricket, for them to get involved and to see how far that involvement in West Indies cricket should go. What are the fruits of that CARICOM cricket conference? Were there any fruits? Those are the questions that we ought to be asking and to seek answers from this morning. Instead of, it's very easy for us to point fingers at the board, and the board has its responsibilities, but in reality, the CARICOM heads of government, other stakeholders around the region and around the world, the diaspora of West Indies fans around the world, always like to have their say on the West Indies team. But isn't at this moment, at the lowest point in West Indies cricket, are we all going to point fingers, or are we all going to scatter in different directions because we want nothing to do with the abject mess that happened yesterday? This is where West Indies cricket needs to rebuild from. This is where West Indies cricket, this is the turning point that West Indies cricket ought to be looking at right now. And I genuinely believe that in the aftermath of yesterday's dismal performance and ultimate defeat at the hands of the Australians, for 27 all out, the West Indies Cricket Board, now rebranded to Cricket West Indies, ought to set up a committee this morning to investigate what happened on the field of play yesterday. Who no longer deserves to have their job in that team? And where do we go from here in terms of rebuilding? We laugh and we speak about we should be playing teams that are associate and we should be dropped down to a different level. But in reality, that's perhaps what should happen in the rebuilding process of West Indies cricket. Because what we've seen is a team at home advantage, a team that is at home advantage, playing against Australia, the bowlers doing very well, and then in such a way, a calamitous way, collapses. But it's not only the collapse, it shows a lack of readiness for the team to be playing Australia. And just before I sit with the sports department, and just before that final evening of the West Indies Test match started, in England, I believe it's in England, England and India were playing a test match. And for those of you who follow cricket, it was one of the most epic test matches that we've had this year. India needed something like 49 runs. They had 1 wicket in hand. England was charging in, trying to get that last wicket. India was doing quite well with Ravindra Jadeja at the crease, and I believe it's Mohammad Siraj, forgive me if I'm wrong, but incredible cricket. England ended up winning the match, but incredible cricket game. And then we had the West Indies doing very well, just set a fairly easy target, or a target of 200 plus runs, and 27 all out. It's not a time for panic. It's the worst thing we can do right now is panic and fire everybody and call on everybody to resign. And there is a space and a place for that. There is a time for that. But what I'm saying is it has to be done in a structured, well thought out manner, because haphazard decisions, which we have had in West Indies cricket for such a long time, is not this that happened yesterday. We have been bowled out for fewer than 100 runs before. The problems of West Indies cricket came before Dr. Kishore Shallow. There were problems in West Indies cricket when Ernest Hilaire was there. There was problems in West Indies cricket when Dave Cameron was there. There was problems and criticism. I can't recall more criticism than Julian Hunt as president of the West Indies Cricket Board. There were problems when Ken Gordon was there as president of West Indies Cricket Board. So my point is, this is not a now thing. This isn't a yesterday thing. This is problems stacked upon each other across decades that have reached and culminated to what we saw in Kingston, Jamaica yesterday. And if we do not really begin taking radical steps to investigate, big word, investigate what happened yesterday in terms of West Indies cricket, then that joke that our producer was making this morning, that we could go even lower, will actually not be a joke. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking more about West Indies cricket. Alvin Cornell is supposed to join us, the former Trinidad and Tobago cricketer. We'll see if we have him. If we don't, we will continue on.
Discover a breakthrough in healthcare at Liberty Medical Center, where expert care is affordable. See top specialists in endocrinology, diabetes care, dermatology, psychiatry, psychology, urology, obstetrics, and gynecology. We offer ultrasounds, x-rays, and ECGs. With full diagnostic services, an in-house pharmacy, and compassionate care, you'll leave feeling better than you came in. Visit us at 154 Pointe-a-Pierre Road, San Fernando, or call 610-4562. Liberty Medical Center. Your health, our mission.
So I hear Beta Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you gonna do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive!
Oh, a spice rack.
Soft close door hinges. Oh, this countertop's nice, well.
It's hot.
So, what do you think?
Well, this
100%.
is it. I'll take it. Build the kitchen you love for less at Beta Homes, Carney or French Street.
Chic Leisure Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split piece powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Chic Leisure Limited, 665-3336.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
Built to Last has a massive sale on roofing materials, including standing seam. Invest in durable roofing sheets at unbeatable prices. Choose our supply and installation package and enjoy huge savings on your roof. Quality materials, quality prices, quality workmanship. Our name says it all. Built to Last, for roofing that is built to last. We will not be beaten on price. Enjoy free delivery and free roll forming on standing seam and guttering on site. Call us now, 355-7703.
Attention all listeners, are you ready for the ultimate news experience? Introducing the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the nation's first and most subscribed newspaper. We deliver where others can't. With the widest delivery network in TNT, you can have the Guardian delivered right to your doorstep or office every single day. Take advantage of our special annual subscription offer so you can stay on top of the leading stories even when you're on the go. Sign up today. Time is running out. Inquire about our 3-month and 6-month packages as well.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
West Indies faltered to the second lowest total in history against Australia at Sabina Park yesterday. Mitchell Starc, the tall, lanky, strong, left-handed fast bowler, bowled his way into the history books as the West Indies lost to Australia by 176 runs to end the series with a win. But let's have a look at the highlights. I'll come back and I'll give my perspective after this.
After resuming on 14-for-1 in reply to Australia's 225, West Indies were bowled out for 143 and in an 88-run hole. And it was the bowlers, like they did throughout the series, that brought them back into the match. Shamar Joseph got the ball rolling with the wickets of Sam Constas and Usman Khawaja to leave them at 19 for 2. Then entered Alzari Joseph, who peppered Steve Smith with some nasty bowling before he pitched one up. But a shaken Smith could not keep this one out. 28 for 3, the big fish going for 5. It was 50 for 4 when Justin Graves entered the party, getting the other big fish, Travis Head, for 16. Then Alzari returned for 2 more wickets in the same over, Bo Webster and Alex Carey, both wickets falling with a score on 69. Australia 69 for 6. Webster continued to fight, and at the close he was on 42 not out with Australia on 99 for 6. And with the first ball of today's play, Shamar Joseph got him to claim his 50th wicket in his 11th test as Australia were dismissed for 121, with Alzari Joseph claiming 5 for 27, his career best. But West Indies batting failed to come to the party yet again. At the end of the first over, bowled by Mitchell Starc, they were 3 for none. That's 3 wickets for no runs. John Campbell, Kevlin Anderson and Brandon King all gone for ducks. The home team never recovered from Starc, who got his 400th test wicket, Mikhail Louis, in his 100th match. And he got the fastest 5-wicket haul in Test cricket in just 15 balls. West Indies 7 for 5 as they went to lunch at 22 for 6. Then in the wink of an eye, 3 more wickets as Scott Boland got rid of Justin Greaves, Shamar Joseph and Jumal Warrican in consecutive balls. West Indies bowled out for 27, just 1 run more than 26 set by New Zealand against England in 1955. It also smashed West Indies' previous lowest of 47 set in 2004 against England and again at Sabina Park. Skipper Ruston Chase says the batters have work to do before their next assignment in India.
Firstly, obviously, India is going to be different conditions, probably more spinner friendly. So I think if we can have some batting camps around playing spin bowling and stuff like that, I think that will be ideal for us going into those conditions.
Well, let's end with some positives.
The teams will remain in Jamaica for the first 2 of 5 T20 internationals starting Sunday. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Ian. Appreciate your reporting on this West Indies versus Australia series as a whole. I know that you've been covering day in, day out throughout the course of those 3 test matches. So, very difficult lowlights to watch. And some may wonder, okay, so why are we talking about this? Why are we harping on West Indies cricket? There is so much other things happening in the news today, and you are absolutely right. Trinidad and Tobago is a market bursting with news stories, and it seems every single day, it would seem. But there needs to be an appreciation for and an understanding, something that we don't teach in our history classes in this country, of both West Indies cricket and West Indies literature, West Indian literature, on the impact of life in the Caribbean. How it shaped our identity as a people, and it has shaped our identity as a people. It's not because Ryan likes cricket or there's a huge cricket fan base outside there that we're discussing it at length in the first half hour of this program this morning. It's far deeper than that. It's because within our identity as Caribbean people, West Indies cricket is interwoven in that, much like George Lamming and his writing, much like Derek Walcott and his writing, and Naipaul and his writing. It's very much shaped the way that we live and identify as people in the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago was a 10-year-old independent nation when the West Indies won its first World Cup. A whole generation of Trinbagonians were able to grow up and say that West Indies has won a World Cup. I saw the West Indies won a World Cup. The T20 cricket that West Indies so enjoys today, all of the CPL cricket where our young people and our young ladies, and the statistics show this, our young ladies and our young people are going into droves to watch CPL and support CPL and love CPL. That CPL and that T20 franchise cricket in the Caribbean was built on the solid base of West Indies cricket of 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And so the West Indies and what happened yesterday is not to be underestimated or devalued in any way, because it is very, very important that we look ourselves in the mirror today onward. And where do we go from here to begin slowly reversing the fortunes of West Indies cricket? Those decisions should not be taken in emotion. Some people will have to lose their jobs. I'm not going to call for anybody to lose their job. If you meet, I know that already people are saying, Darren Sammy has to be fired, Darren Sammy has to be fired, and maybe it is so, I don't know. If you've ever, some of you watching this program this morning have had the opportunity to meet Darren Sammy. If you have, or if you never have, Darren Sammy is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet in this world. For those who criticize him, for those who yell at him, for those who tell him everything negative, he still will smile and he still will move on with his day. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Is he the right man to continue taking West Indies cricket forward? Perhaps not. Perhaps it was just too much. The Test, One-Day International and T20 teams, perhaps it was just too much in a packed cricket calendar. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that we have so many legends of the game. We've utilized some of them down the road in terms of batting coach, bowling coach, coach of the West Indies team, etc. It is now time for them to get behind a table, behind the scenes, behind the view of the public, and really assess what happened yesterday, how we arrived at yesterday, and how do we go from here going forward. How do we creep forward? How do we creep out of this hole? Because it's not going to be that the West Indies is going to suddenly, because we did do very well against Pakistan. Going to Pakistan and winning is very difficult. Who goes to Pakistan and win? Not many teams go to Pakistan and beat Pakistan in Pakistan. We did well against Australia in Australia a couple of years ago. We went to England and we showed that we could match up against the English as well. So there has been success sporadically, but it's not enough. It has never been enough. It continues to not be enough. Because we're going to keep going to extreme lows, and then we're going to keep going to highs. But that's not really sport for you, is it? The essence is to be as consistent as the Indians, as the English, as the South Africans, as the Australians are. And that, my friends, is not going to happen tomorrow, next week, or even next year. Let's have a quick look at the briefs before we take this break and come back with the trade convention that's happening over the weekend. The president having a minor conversation there and championing the national instrument through PAN and national transformation as well. Lots more for you to read in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian newspaper today, including some interesting stories when it comes to energy and an update on the refinery and whether that Petrotrin refinery can actually be reopened. One expert saying that it's probably early days yet to say whether the refinery can open. And of course, we have a lot of follow-ups when it comes to national security, including but not limited to the very expansive conversation we were able to have 24 hours ago with the Police Commissioner, Alistair Guevara, on the Morning Brew. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking about the trade convention that's happening. What can that bring to Trinidad and Tobago? And what can Trinidad and Tobago bring to the rest of the world? Business beyond borders. Next.
At Bagwansing's Port of Spain and Chagonas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, VRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chagonas, building value every day.
Considering a career in procurement or supply chain? Start the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, CIPS, program at CTS College. CIPS is internationally recognized as the leading professional accreditation for procurement and supply chain professionals. It covers industry-related topics like strategic sourcing, contract management, and ethical practices. With 1 day of class per week and 6 intake periods, students can get certified in as little as 6 months. Contact CTS College today and ask about our flexible payment options and how you can get up to $2,700 off.
He hit me. Will CG United cover this?
Don't worry. Remember when I was in that competitive arm wrestling circuit? 3-time champion, baby. I did feel bad crushing all those arms and dreams. So I took them all out for ice cream. And then we got crushed. Anyway, CG United handled my claims fast.
That explains the arm.
The best cover for the best value. CG United. Good like that.
Okay, I see you. Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off. Let me see you kick right, now kick left, now step forward, now step back. Lucasade, bring the energy.
Maybelline, New York. New Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. Up to 30-hour wear. Light as air. Luminous matte look. New Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. Maybelline, New York.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
So our producer says that she gave me the first half hour of the program to rant about West Indies cricket and that I'm not allowed to say the words West Indies cricket for the rest of the day. Aye, aye, Captain. Let's move our conversation now into trade and investment. I have Emil Ramkisoon with me this morning. He's the Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association. Emil, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having us on the program this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on because we were talking before the cameras started to roll.
Right.
The Trade and Investment Convention is happening from Thursday through to Saturday. Really, if you've not been to a trade and investment convention, it's moved around a bit, but for the last few years, it's been at the Center of Excellence in Macoya. It really is what I like to term like a World Cup of business, really. There are so many booths in Macoya.
When you say World Cup, it's a World Cup of the business for the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's so many businesses, yeah. So tell us a little bit about the 26th edition that will be happening from Thursday to Saturday, and how do you think this one will really up the ante from the previous ones?
So this one will up the ante because last year we didn't have the entire exhibition at the Center of Excellence. This year we have the full scale. So we had 330 booths this year representing 300 manufacturers, service providers, government agencies, embassies, you name it, it's there. We have a collaboration this year with Edge Series. It's an international forum, so it takes you from local to global. We have various panelists, international panelists, local panelists, speakers who have the experience in trade exports. You know, if you don't attend that, you know, they're telling you this is how to up the ante, as you say, how to get your product from local to global, how to use different services, how to introduce international standards, how to have printing and packaging available in your products.
You mentioned that there are going to be a number of booths at the Trade and Investment Convention. What are some of the products and businesses can we expect at the convention?
So first, you're going to see the construction industry comprising of different things, from cement, PVC pipes, glues. You're going to see crafts. Crafts has been a growing industry in Trinidad and Tobago, which stemmed out of our pop-up shop. So we have 2 pop-up shops here, and you see they use the pop-up shop as a platform to get their products on the local market. But now they want to go global, as I said, from local to global. So they're using TIC, Trade Investment Convention, which is a Caribbean platform, as you say, the World Cup. And they're going to take their products globally. They're going to see international buyers. They're probably going to meet local distributors that have agencies in different countries, distributions in different countries. And that's where the networking really starts to get your product globally.
Wow. What success do you feel it has had, the convention has had, over the last 2 decades, Emil?
Well, statistically, looking at the numbers, we had $900 million US generated over the last 25 years. And I could anticipate our next $50 million US just by retaining exhibitors alone. A lot of exhibitors retain because they see the successes of TIC and a lot of the new ones. So you see the bigger companies, you see the medium ones, you see the smaller ones, you see the micro ones. And everybody always talks about TIC is the place to be every year.
I do want to ask you a little bit about Caribbean businesses. Intra-regional travel can often be a little bit expensive, and sometimes it can be a little bit dissuading for businesses to cross the islands, to come to Trinidad, spend some time here, 3 or 4 or 5 days for this convention. However, the TIC has really encouraged businesses across the region that this is a place that you should be. This is a place that you can grow your business not only regionally, but you might even have international eyes on your business. What response have you gotten from the regional business chambers?
Actually, there has been a positive response because TTMA does trade missions throughout the Caribbean and internationally. And we partner with a lot of the business chambers in the region in CARICOM, and they actually partner with us. So they bring buyers down to Trinidad. They actually bring some of their locally produced manufactured items to exhibit in Trinidad and Tobago at TIC. And they actually fund a lot of these initiatives in their countries and bring it back for us.
But this convention has taken on an even greater significance now, Emil. Hear me out with this question, right? We are now in the midst, just last weekend on Saturday, US President Donald Trump instituted 30% tariffs on the EU as well as Mexico. Right. It's been a round of tariffs. Tariffs has been the name of the game this year in the business community. This convention opens a window to the international world for local and regional businesses at a time when it's been a little bit volatile. Would you agree with me?
It's been volatile, but I think all manufacturers, coming out of COVID, they know how to retool, they know where to source raw materials elsewhere around the world, and they know how to make their product efficiently and bring down costs to export. And we have seen that over the last 5 years, because COVID was, 2020, and now we're in 2026. So you have seen how manufacturers have been able to pivot around global challenges.
Yeah. Given the global challenges that we see happening in Europe with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the Middle East having its own conflicts, as we have seen over the last 5 to 10 years, what opportunities are there for regional and local businesses to expand their products, given the volatile, particularly when it comes to conflicts in different parts of the world?
I think the opportunities is for us to support each other as neighboring islands, for us to source raw materials regionally, rather than we look internationally for raw materials. Let's forge that partnership regionally. Buy from a neighboring island, buy from Trinidad and Tobago, we could buy from Grenada, we could buy from Jamaica, we could source agricultural products from Suriname and Guyana. And we enforce that partnership of supporting each other regionally. As you say, the world is going through a lot of conflict right now, so let's stand together as a CARICOM region.
That's such an important point that you just made, because as a CARICOM region, it's better for us to probably try to lean on ourselves and our neighbors rather than lean on a partner across the other side of the world, and then that partner becomes involved in a domestic or regional situation, and suddenly we see that partnership begins. How does a convention really allow for this regional collaboration to become fruitful?
I think just networking on the floor itself, exhibitors, as I say, from different countries, local exhibitors, meeting CEOs of various institutions, meeting the government institutions that are exhibiting, offering their webinar and seminar series. You get to forge that relationship. We have the opening cocktail tomorrow, which is heads of governments, CEOs of exhibitors, international buyers. And that's where you really start to forge a relationship from tomorrow onwards.
Right. The Trade and Investment Convention, you mentioned there'll be many booths at the Center of Excellence in Macoya. You mentioned some of the industries. Can you give us an expanded picture of what are some of the differing industries, and how are people invited to attend? Is there a fee to attend? Is it free to attend?
So let me go. So they're cleaning chemical agents, the food and beverage sector. So you see non-alcoholic, alcoholic. There are a lot of new upcoming industries. You've seen various pepper sauces, various cheeses, different things, the SMEs are producing. And
it's not just macro.
No,
it's also micro.
Micro. You've seen crafts. You've seen a lot of clothing. You've seen a lot of jewelry.
Interesting you should say crafts in a time when, and you talk about leaning on each other within the region, when there are so many carnival activities across this region on a year-to-year basis.
Yeah. And then, as you said, how do you get access to the show? So free registration closes tomorrow. So it's available on our website, www.ttma.com/TIC. You enter all the details and you're in the show. They email you the QR code, and then when you reach, it's free. Otherwise, you have to pay $50 at the door.
Right. Who are some of the heads of government are you expecting to walk the corridors of this
So we're
convention?
expecting our new Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism. He's definitely confirmed, and we're awaiting responses from different other ministers.
Anything else you'd like to tell the viewing public, Emil, as we wrap this interview?
So I would like to tell you, viewing public, this is an opportunity. This is a business staple for the region. Please attend, take opportunities. There's 3 days to attend. So I believe if you take at least 1 day or 2 days, you will forge a business-to-business relationship. You will form a networking partnership.
Just as we head out of this interview, what would you say to people? What is the benefit of them just coming in, just having a look, even if they're not business people?
You know, it opens up your mind to see what's actually locally produced in Trinidad and Tobago and what's being produced in region. Because as we say, the theme is business beyond borders, and we want to create that regional relationship through TIC.
Business Beyond Borders starts on Thursday at the Center of Excellence in McCoy and runs through to Saturday. Emil Ramkissoon, congratulations on all the great work that TTMA and yourself have been doing as it pertains to the Trade and Investment Convention over the last 26 years.
Thank you, Ryan, and thanks for having the TTMA on board this morning.
Vice President of the TTMA, Emil Ramkissoon, talking to us. Stay with us here on the Morning Brew. When we come back, our producer insists that we have a conversation on West Indies cricket. Andre Lawrence, the former national cricketer, joins us next.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order. Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Presenting the most modern pharmaceutical facility in the country, Food Basket Hyperfarm Pharmacy Food Basket Complex, Arima. We stock the widest range of health and beauty products, baby supplies, stationery, fragrances, and cosmetics. Our organic, sugar, and gluten-free products cater to vegans and the health conscious. A wide assortment of dispensary medication and over-the-counter items at the most affordable prices. Make Hyperfarm Pharmacy your choice. Located on the compound of Food Basket Complex, Arima.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza, Endeavour, Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us.
Welcome back to the program and welcome back to West Indies cricket. We're going to be discussing the regional side's downfall yesterday for a little bit, just until maybe the 7 a.m. news. Andre Lawrence, the former Trinidad and Tobago cricketer, is on the phone with us. Andre, good morning. Welcome to the program. Thank you very much, by the way, for joining us on such short notice. Interestingly, before I bring in Andre, I mentioned at the top of this program that what we are witnessing now didn't start now. And those who have been following the regional game here in the West Indies have been ringing the alarm bells for quite some time. Andre Lawrence is one of them. There's a headline in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian newspaper 20 days ago. Andre Lawrence unhappy with Windies team to face Aussies. And I want to quote from him very quickly. He says of the selection process, this is Andre Lawrence I'm quoting, "I think that the process and selection for the current test team has been absolutely ridiculous, and we've been let down by a process that is very difficult to understand." This is not him talking about the players, this is not him talking about the coach, this is him talking about the system. Just look back at the West Indies team that beat Australia just over a year ago in Brisbane, and they've added from that team of Shea Hope, Roston Chase, John Campbell, Jamal Warrican, and Brandon King in the most part. None of these players are under the age of 30. All of them are over the age of 30. And if you're thinking of progress and development of West Indies cricketers, I think it is a retrograde step. Andre Lawrence, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for joining us on such short notice.
Good morning to you, Ryan, and good morning to everyone tuned in.
First of all, your assessment, and I'm not just talking about your assessment of 27 all-out, your assessment of how West Indies cricket hit rock bottom yesterday.
Thank you for having me on this morning, and actually for reading what I said, and that quote was correct, in that the process that took us to where we are and where we performed yesterday and throughout the series, to me, and sadly, it was no big surprise. I mean, how bad it was probably a little bit of a surprise, but I'm not shocked that we had an awful series, certainly with the bat. Just over a year ago, we beat Australia in Brisbane. We tied a test series there. Just a month ago, we tied a test series against Pakistan as well, which is extremely difficult to do. So, you see a West Indies young team fighting hard in a tough sport where we're trying to build. And they were building. You can actually see a bit of progress despite you had some poor performances in between. But certainly with the new process where the West Indies Cricket Board discarded Test coach Andre Kohli, brought in, and in my view, unqualified Darren Sammy into the picture, certainly that was the beginning of what we're seeing here today. Not just bringing Sammy into the picture, but allowing him ultimate control in that he's the lone decision maker with regards to the teams that are selected for test series. He does not have the experience, if you ask me, and qualifications to act in the role of a test coach. Test cricket requires a whole different level of thinking and to be very, very strong tactically, and helping the players with their technique and so on. And in my view, that I don't think Sammy is quite the person for that at all. And we're seeing the results that have come from it.
Where do we go from here this morning? I'm kind of glad that we're having this conversation this morning and not last night, because as I mentioned to you, I thought that tempers and emotions were boiling high very last night in the aftermath of that defeat. Where do we go from here now as we are thinking about it the morning after? What would you like to see Cricket West Indies as a board do this morning, from this morning, so that we begin the arduous, difficult task of beginning to reverse West Indies cricket, and that will take years?
Yeah, reversing West Indies cricket is something that will take quite some time. But I mean, it is clear, as I said, I warned the public, and in my opinion, what can happen. We've now reached our lowest low. So I am surprised that this morning you're interviewing me, as opposed to carrying the story that the coach has stepped down and that he's resigned from his position, and that we can press on, change the process, revert to a selection process that involves a chairman of selectors aided by other professionals around the region that has the experience to play our best players from around the Caribbean, not ordinary white ball cricketers that have come into the red ball game simply on the whim and fancy of one person's decision making. I'm surprised that he hasn't resigned already, and that the West Indies Cricket Board has not simply fired Darren Sammy. That's what needs to happen right now. He has to step down, step aside, and we get on with the business again, the arduous task of reshaping West Indies cricket.
Okay, so you have directly called for the West Indies Cricket Board, Cricket West Indies, and or Darren Sammy for him to either be removed or to resign the post. However,
absolutely.
Right. However, you've also said that the process that was changed, the system of both selection and the power a coach has in West Indies cricket, that you would like to see it reset.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, Darren Sammy already is the white ball coach, which is a T20 coach, head coach, and the 50 over ODI and the one-day international coach. I mean, I'll just give you an example. While we were out in England and Australia playing limited over series and T20 series over there, the Australians were already in the Caribbean, getting ready, preparing to play us in the Test series. So his job, he had to eventually leave, I think, during or just after or just before the last ODI game against Ireland, and hurry on into the Caribbean. And it showed up in the very first test where we put down 7 chances. Which means the team was simply unprepared.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's clear evidence of that. So certainly his role is probably going to take him into being just simply too busy on the calendar to have our team properly prepared, and certainly we have to change that right away.
Andre, in order for West Indies cricket to get back to this reset position that you so speak of, clearly it is in need of direction from a number of individuals. I'm not saying not just one individual, but a number. Who should be the voices that are directing the way forward out of this mess of yesterday? Who are the voices would you recommend that should be directing West Indies cricket out of this? And I'm not speaking specifically from a board level. I'll ask you that question after. But is it past players? Is it administrators? Because we have great administrators in the region. Who should be leading the leading voices in West Indies cricket today?
I think CARICOM has to get involved. This is a regional sport that attempts to unite the entire Caribbean. We hear, a little fluttering that they have had talks with the West Indies Cricket Board and so on. From time to time, you hear that. But I think, look at where we are now. I think that voice now has to be a whole lot stronger. To me, the administrators have proven to be incompetent, I think, around the region. CARICOM must now get involved in a major way. We had an entire symposium some months ago, maybe a year ago. What has come of that? We need to know what are the next steps and get the assistance of CARICOM, in my view.
Right. Final question from me, Andre. Cricket West Indies Board. A lot of fingers will be pointing at the Cricket West Indies Board this morning. Some will call for the president to resign. Some will call for the president to be removed and all of the directors, etc. We know the 9 yards. We've been down there before. But as you said, this is the lowest of lows. What should become of Cricket West Indies this morning?
Reflection, hard reflection, and the thought process of making some difficult decisions, despite some of the recent decisions or poor decisions that have been made. They have to understand that we certainly cannot continue along this road. Some major decisions were made not too long ago, for example, to get Darren Sammy in as head coach and that sort of thing. We knew that was a recipe for disaster. And it has unfolded in a major way here in the Caribbean. They've got to sit back and think clearly, okay, while some people might say they urge patience, you cannot be patient when clearly the wrong thing has been done, and we're in a diabolical position as of this morning, and an embarrassing position in world cricket. We've got to reverse that at the shortest time possible and get things back on track once again.
Andre, I have 15 seconds, and I'm going to ask you a direct question. Who would you like to see coach the West Indies test team into the future?
In my view, it should be not a local coach, but possibly a foreign coach that has the qualifications to do such things, to do such coaching. Not just someone who has test experience or who've won a T20 World Cup here or there. There are many coaches in and around the world that have the technical and tactical prowess to do so and could be available. I would like to see someone like that take over as West Indies coach.
Andre Lawrence, thank you very much for taking our phone call this morning. We appreciate it.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Former Trinidad and Tobago cricketer Andre Lawrence reacting to the West Indies' defeat against Australia yesterday, an all-time low 27 all-out for the regional side. Let's take a break, take in the 7 a.m. news, and when we come back, we'll have a lot more for you in the second hour of The Brew.
So I hear Beta Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you gonna do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive! Oh, a spice rack.
Soft closed door hinges. Oh, this countertop's nice, well. It's hot, you know.
So, what do you think?
Well, this 100%.
Is it. I'll take it. Build the kitchen you love for less at Beta Homes, Caroni or French Street.
Feeling drained? Struggling to keep up? It's time to take control of your wellness. On this episode of Wellness Unlocked, we're diving into the key nutrients your body needs for all-day energy and balance. With 100% or more of your daily essential vitamins, plus added chromium to support healthy blood sugar, this is complete wellness in a single soft gel. Join us as we uncover how small changes can make a big impact on your health. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on CNC3 and take the first step toward better health.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Beachy with Headline News on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. It is official, Attorney Gerald Ramdeen is the new chairman of the wholly state-owned National Gas Company and has replaced Dr. Randy Ramadasinghe, who served for almost a month in the position. Confirmation came from Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal that Ramdeen, along with the directors of the board, got their letters of appointment yesterday. Dr. Ramadasinghe's position was revoked 3 weeks after his appointment. The minister told CNC3 News that he is convinced that the attorney has what it takes to be chairman of NGC Company.
He is an outstanding attorney at law and has practiced in several areas of the law, including corporate law and so on. At this time, NGC is challenged, as everyone knows, in terms of several legal matters and negotiations over gas supply contracts and so on, and many other challenges as well, including matters of energy policy and diplomacy.
Veteran broadcaster, cultural icon and former politician Dr. Hansley Hanumansingh is being remembered for his strong faith and a voice that led an entire community. Dozens of people gathered at the Currap Presbyterian Church yesterday to say their final goodbye to the Las Lomas-born man whose voice became part of Trinidad and Tobago's collective memory, with his delivery of the news through the airways over the years. The 83-year-old passed away on July 4th after a period of illness. His sons Kurt and Ravi shared that their dad's health started to deteriorate in 2022 after the passing of their bigger brother Peter. That was when he started putting more thought into his biography that he did not get to complete, but his brother Gideon spoke of its importance and potential authors.
But Premnath Gupta and Jerome Tilak Singh should volunteer as witnesses of history to give tomorrow's generations a better insight into this remarkable individual who lit that candle and burnt it so brightly until the very end.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs David Naked is leading the government's intervention between the TNT Football Association and Selwyn Melville. Naked will meet both sides of the divide on Thursday morning.
Both parties, in my view, made ludicrous offers. which is normal for negotiation. Both parties made offers that really and truly does not make sense. I've spoken to both parties. They're very receptive to finding a resolution, and we hope to do so this week, God willing, so that we can move on from this.
He says the government represents an impartial arbiter whose sole interest is in retaining a legacy. For those who are 7 a.m. news headlines, we'll have another news update for you at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
Quality food to fill you.
Hey, pretty lady, I see you're looking for some hot sauce. Boy, move it. I have a man. See you. So you don't want no mother-in-law?
Attention, valued shoppers. We are thrilled to celebrate 34 amazing years with you, our loyal customers. A huge congratulations to all our winners.
Hey, don't make joke. I know we're not shopping spree.
Yes, snacks we buying, mommy.
Look, boy, come on, eh? Well, look how I just win a Caribbean getaway now. Rock back. Girl, I know we're not shopping spree. Well, come on, help me now. You don't have a man? Later. Nah.
It's Southern Food Basket's 34th anniversary extravaganza from July 1st to August 31st. Shop and enter for a chance to win incredible prizes, Caribbean getaways, staycations, shopping spree, and the ultimate grand prize of a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Sumitomo, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958. Safety is the foundation of every strong home and business. For over 30 years, All Pro Security has been your trusted partner in protection. Innovation you can count on. Reliability you can trust. Call 299-0600. All Pro Security, protecting what matters most. Always.
Back to the second hour of the Morning Brew. In the first hour, we would have discussed the oncoming Trade and Investment Convention that's happening at the Center of Excellence in Macoya from Thursday through to Saturday. And I would have also spoken extensively on West Indies cricket before speaking to Andre Lawrence, the former national cricketer, as well. In the second hour of the Morning Brew, sitting in for Jason Williams, here I am. But however, Jason is in the Bahamas for the 40th conference of Canto, and he's been bringing us regular reports of his travels there, the people he has been speaking to as the Caribbean aims to become more digital friendly and also aim to break barriers when it comes to artificial intelligence. Let's see what Jason has for us this morning.
Updates from the 40th Canto Conference, sponsored by Flow and Liberty Business.
Jason Williams on location here at the Grand Hyatt Bahama in Nassau, Bahamas for day 2 of Canto 2025, a day where lots of regional ministers took to the stage, and there was a common theme, a theme of collaboration, working together hand in hand to improve on the digital framework to keep the architecture, the technological space sustainable. Artificial intelligence and issues on cybersecurity were also major talking points today. Again, let's take in some of the flavor, as certainly we bring to you all the behind the scenes and the exclusive right here on CNC3 Canto 2025.
We're very proud of our country. We're very happy to have Canto here. Almost 800 delegates. It's good for tourism, first of all, but importantly, it's good for collaboration. We have many organizations across the CARICOM region, including the Caribbean Tourism Organization that I am a part of. I like Canto because it's really very forward-looking. We get to look really at the trends in the business to see how we can improve efficiency, how we can improve global competitiveness, and I'm delighted that we're doing it right here in the Bahamas.
Well, we've been now more than 7 years here. We did a lot of work. We really did a lot of investments into our networks. We took all the copper out. Everybody's now on giga speeds. We have our people in the right seats, Caribbean talent ready to go. And we really want to build on that. And we want to build on the Caribbean heritage. And for that to really like underpin, we decided to move from cable and wireless communication. We've been 150 years in the Caribbean. You know, we are the fabric. What we do is woven into the fabric of the Caribbean. And so what we want to do is, with Liberty Caribbean, the new name, show that we're there for the Caribbean, and we want to really amplify it. You know, Liberty Caribbean, like amplify the next stage of our journey. And so we're super excited.
So there you have it. Again, another successful day, Day 2, Canto 2025, where thought leaders, regional ministers, and those within the space of technology and innovation had a chance to lay out their policy positions. We will bring you continued behind-the-scenes and exclusive interviews. Canto 2025. Jason Williams reporting from Nassau, Bahamas.
All right, GW, thank you very much for your reporting at Canto, the 40th conference that's happening right now. It's actually deeper and much more important than some people may realize, that conference that's happening in the Bahamas. Here in the Caribbean, technological advances, the digital era, we are far behind where we ought to be, and there is a great divide in between urban communities and rural communities across the islands, the chain of islands in the Caribbean. And I can say this because I've actually done interviews with UN representatives who are trying to bridge that divide. There are serious concerns when it comes to the digital divide here in the Caribbean, and it's important that conversations and conferences like those aim to really create policies, enact policies to help those most vulnerable, to help those who are lacking in technology, and certainly to help the most rural communities across the Caribbean region. And there are so many rural communities across the Caribbean region to get in touch with the 21st century so that they can raise their standard of living, so the standard of living for their families can also raise as well. Looking forward to Day 3, which will happen today at Canto in the Bahamas, to see what Jason Williams has for us a little bit later on in the 7 p.m. news. In case you miss it, you'll also catch it here tomorrow morning on the Morning Brew. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the Digipreneur. This week, we'll be looking at whether you are thinking about working from home but living abroad. Karen Rose and I will explain next.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill you.
Hey, pretty lady. I see you looking for some hot sauce. Boy, move it. I have a man. See you. So you don't want no mother-in-law?
Attention valued shoppers, we are thrilled to celebrate 34 amazing years with you, our loyal customers. A huge congratulations to all our winners.
Hey, don't make joke. I know we're not shopping spree.
What snacks we buying, mommy?
Look, boy, come on, eh? Well, look how I just went a Caribbean getaway now. Rock back. Girl, I know we're not shopping spree. Well, come on, help me now. You don't have a man? Later. Nah.
It's Southern Food Basket's 34th anniversary extravaganza. From July 1st to August 31st. Shop and enter for a chance to win incredible prizes. Caribbean getaways, staycations, shopping spree, and the ultimate grand prize of a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara.
That is a biggie. It's out of here.
The biggest business-to-business event of the year is here. The Trade and Investment Convention, July 17th to the 19th at the Center of Excellence, Macoya. It's the Caribbean's biggest business-to-business with over 300 amazing exhibitors from Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the world. Register to attend for free at www.ttma.com/TIC. Connect, discover, grow at TIC 2025.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
The real win for a lot of people who are professionals is to work from home, work remotely, and, never have to go to the office and get their work done and get paid. But what if we take that a step further? What if we say that you can work from any country in the world of your choosing, you get the same work that you do in the office done, albeit remotely, from your favorite island, from your favorite city, from your favorite nation, and then you still get the same money you get at the end of the month. Now that will add a lot of peace of mind to a lot of people that I know, and it will also help them mentally as well. Karen Rose, digital strategist, welcome back to the program this week. Thank you very much for always being here with us, Karen. He joins us from Thailand.
Thank you. And Ryan, always a pleasure anytime we get to chat. And I'm glad how you broke that down in the opening. It puts people in the right frame of mind for today's convo.
Yeah, this is a really interesting conversation. And it's an interesting conversation on two fronts. On the first front, a lot of Trinbagonians would like to get to that point, and we are yet to get to that point. But it's also happening in many places in the world. So for instance, you want to give us some lessons for Trinidad and Tobago on being a digital nomad in Vietnam. I'm going to start by asking you, so let's break down what a digital nomad is, and then why Vietnam.
Yeah, so digital nomad, keep it simple for everybody. It's somebody who is able to work from anywhere. So they're not just able to work from home, they're able to work from anywhere. And they tend to travel the world. So they'll just go and move to another country. Travel doesn't have to mean, every single week you're in a different country, but you're moved to another part of the world. And again, because you're able to work from anywhere, whenever you decide to go and, work from a beach in Bali, you can up and you can go and do that. So digital nomad, anybody who is using technology to work, and then they're able to work from anywhere.
All right. Why Vietnam has become a location that a lot of people who want to work from anywhere in the world is choosing Vietnam?
Yeah, so it's really interesting, the migration stats that are happening, or the migration change that are happening right now. We've seen over the years, countries like the US have announced they've been closing their borders. We now see that they're rejecting a lot of green cards and whatnot. They're telling people, they're not allowing people to come in like they once were. Same thing in Canada. Canada has reduced immigration into the country by almost half because of the migration crisis over there. And it's the same thing happening in the UK. And all of these countries have been the three countries predominantly that we've all been migrating to for generations. So now that these countries are closing their doors and the cost of living in those countries have skyrocketed, other countries are receiving some key benefits. Vietnam has been rated as the #1 most affordable country in the world for the fourth year in a row. Most affordable country in the world. Now Vietnam is taking advantage by investing in amazing infrastructure in some of their key cities, like their beach city, which is like Da Nang. It looks like Miami South Beach. Ho Chi Minh City, which is one of the more populous cities in the world, and then Hanoi, another city in Vietnam. So they're building up these cities, they're building up the infrastructure, and then you add in the fact that the cost of living is the most affordable country in the world. Now you start to see why Vietnam is rising on everybody's list and has become the fastest growing destination for digital nomads.
Yeah, they find that working from Vietnam, they can effectively, and I want to just push this point home, they can effectively carry out, they're not necessarily working, Karen, for Vietnamese companies. They're working for multinational companies, but from Ho Chi Minh, from Hanoi.
Yes. So that's exactly it. So one of the things that people could start doing and pitching to their companies, like if you really want to try being a digital nomad, I always recommend go to your company that you're already working for. If you are somebody that could possibly work from home, pitch to them a reduction in salary. They may be willing to pay you less, but allow you to work from anywhere. And now you go and live in a country like Vietnam, where $1,000 US to $1,500 US covers almost all of your expenses. So that's roughly around 6,000 to 10,000 TT dollars, and all of your bills are paid from food, rent, electricity, right? And or if you're not doing that with your company that you're working with, you could apply for companies that are hiring for remote jobs. That's the other option. Or you have people who are freelancers or content creators who are earning money from their content, or again, they're working with clients from around the world, and they're able to now earn good money. Doesn't have to be as much, but that's also the plus as to when you could earn a little bit less, but then go and live in a country like Vietnam where you don't need as much to survive, but your money goes a lot further.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to our producer about possibly trying to host this show from Ho Chi Minh sometime next week. But what are the benefits? I talked a little bit about mentally, it can help a lot of people with their mental health, just being in such an environment, working from home, perhaps they get a lot more done. What are the benefits to being a digital nomad, you feel, Karen?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the choice, right? Right now, anytime you talk to anybody in the Caribbean about where they want to migrate to, they say the same thing: the US, the UK, Canada. And then when those countries shut down their borders, they have no idea where to go, but they're still stuck in a lot of the same situations as to why they want to leave. Maybe they're not getting the academic opportunities that they want. Maybe they're not getting the job opportunities that they want. Maybe they just want to go and live in a different country and experience something else, right? But we don't see a lot of people that are migrating to countries in Asia, in Eastern Europe, or in South America. So if you want to become a digital nomad, one of the biggest benefits is now you have more choices of countries to choose from. Because right now, as of right now, there are over 66 countries that have a digital nomad visa. And it's going to continue to grow because countries have realized digital nomads already come with their income. They come with their jobs. They're not taking any of the jobs away from any of the locals, but they're an immediate cash injection into the country without taking away jobs, and they spread that money out in the communities because guess what? We still have to buy groceries. We're still going to want to try different experiences. We want to try the street food. So the community sees a lot more money when digital nomads are coming in. So you're going to have way more choices as more countries roll out their new digital visas. If you can start getting remote jobs, or again, trying to figure out if you can work with your employers to work remotely, then it's going to open up more options for you.
A lot of people who are watching this interview right now would say, God, you know, I love that idea. I would love to try that idea. But my company or the business that I'm into doesn't really, you know, allow for it. And it's not because they have to be there physically, Karen. It's because in Trinidad and Tobago and other parts of the region, we just haven't gotten to that level of thinking despite going through a COVID-19 pandemic. What would you say to business owners who really have the opportunity to move their staff more digital, to a more friendly digital staff, meaning that the staff can work from home, they can work from the beach, wherever, once the work gets done, really? What would you say to those businesses, particularly in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, first and foremost, the World Economic Forum has said that over the next 5 years, there are going to be 92 million job titles that will no longer exist over the next 5 years. But there's going to be 175 new million jobs coming on board. companies are going to transform. Companies are going to run leaner. People are going to have to upskill, right? If businesses want to survive, they're going to have to run leaner. They're going to have to lean into the technology. And then if people want to remain marketable moving forward, they're going to have to upskill. And a lot of the skills that you're going to be learning now are going to be digital skills or things that you're going to naturally be able to do remotely. We just seen a surgery being done by an Italian doctor perform a remote operation on a client in China. That just happened. So even surgeons are going to be able to work remotely, right? The other thing is the talent pool globally is going to be moving around the world. If you want to be able to tap into the best talent, especially in the Caribbean, if you want to tap into the best talent, you're gonna have to be able now to allow your citizens to work from anywhere, because if they move because of whatever the reasons are, you don't want to just lose that talent. But then also, you might also find skills in other countries that we don't have locally. So you want to be able to set your business up to have remote talent coming in, because the best talent is going to be the best talent you're going to be able to access, chances are, is going to be remote.
Yeah, I had to read that article with the Italian doctor and the Chinese patient twice to truly grasp. It was impossible. Like, I was halfway through the article, and then I was like, no, this doesn't make sense. You know, so I restarted it. But Karen, you also have another agenda when it comes to digital nomads. Yeah. You want Trinidad and Tobago as a nation to start thinking about becoming a digital nomadic friendly country, meaning that there are people all over the world who think, wow, I would like to go to Trinidad and Tobago and do my job in the UK, do my job from Asia, do my job from Africa, to come here and to enjoy the rich spoils of nature in Trinidad and Tobago while doing their jobs. You want Vietnam to also be in Trinidad and Tobago.
Absolutely. And let me read off one stat for you, right? Thailand released their destination Thai visa, their new 5-year visa last year, August. That's the visa that I'm on right now. That's what I came in on, right? That visa came out last year, and they released an article yesterday that over 35,000 applicants had applied since they rolled out that visa. The visa itself cost about $300 US to even file for it. So just on the visa fees alone, they've earned over $10.5 million. If you look at the average salary of a U.S. citizen, let's just say the majority of those people that came down were U.S. citizens. The average salary in the U.S. is about $66,000 per year. That would mean that Thailand added almost $2.3 billion US into their economy. Now, again, they have the space for that scale. I'm not saying TNT needs to go in that scale, but the digital nomads are coming with their income. And as you said, you just called it a wide variety of currencies. People are going to be coming with their pounds, they're going to be coming with their US, they're going to be coming with their money and spending that money locally. So if we start to now position TNT as a digital friendly space, one where we have clear visas, because as I said, I'm on a 5-year visa, right? So the visas are not unlimited. We need to have proper structured visas, because we do see there's a lot of content creators who are in Trinidad, and people keep asking, but how are they able to stay this long? And it's simple. They just leave before the 3 months is up, and then they go somewhere and they come back. And there's no real structure to that. And that's why they can keep on doing it. So if we have real structured digital nomad visas, it could be a 1 year and they have to renew every year. It could be a 5-year, whatever the case is. We could start to now attract people who want to live in the Caribbean. And then TNT is still cheaper cost of living than most of the Caribbean islands. We all know that. And who doesn't want to live in Tobago and just be in Tobago 24/7? So we have things to offer, and this would be a great destination for digital nomads to take a look at.
Digital strategist Karen Rose, thank you very much for breaking down what could be a very complex topic for us, and also highlighting the numerous opportunities, not just for Trinidad and Tobago, but for Trinidad and Tobago citizens who, like you said, might just want to experience another nation for a while, but they can't stop working. Well, they can continue to work, albeit in a different country. Always appreciate you breaking down these things for us, Karen.
Always a pleasure, Ryan. Take care.
Can't wait to see you next time. Digital strategist Karen Rose talking to us here on The Morning Brew. He has a lot of fans, by the way, in this country with the work that he does in terms of digital. Let's take a break here on The Morning Brew. We'll be right back.
I'm looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw material.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
Ready to turn heads and steal the spotlight? Then head to Rosari Bridal Couture, your all-in-one fashion destination for every celebration. From stunning bridal lehengas to simple everyday showers, sparkling jewelry, affordable kids wear, stylish Muslim clothing, and even puja essentials, we've got it all under one roof. Get free footwear with any bridal outfit and get free matching bangles with kids wear. Need the perfect fit? Our in-house tailor is here for you. We're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just take the Southern Highway to Brentwood, Chaguanas and call 723-9099 for more info. Rosari Bridal Couture, where fashion meets celebration, all inclusive.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Brand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve it. Big goals, small ones too. Brand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Brand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Food Basket. Food Basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A real much I wanna shop fair go view. Food Basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food Basket, Marketplace Go View, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
This Saturday afternoon from 3 p.m. around the Queen's Park Savannah, there will be a Relay for Life. In fact, I might have gotten a few of those details wrong, but we do have the experts on, including Dr. Asante LeBlanc with us. Welcome back to the program, and we have Shireen Mungal joining us via Zoom. Dr. LeBlanc, tell us a little bit about Relay for Life that's happening. You'll give us the correct information.
So, morning, Ryan. It's good to see you. Sorry, you got most of it right. So it's at the Oval.
Right.
So I guess that's close to the Queen's Park Savannah. So the Relay for Life is an initiative put together between the American Cancer Society and the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society. It's actually a global initiative from the American Cancer Society. And this is where we celebrate and remember survivors. We celebrate survivorship, we remember those we've lost, and we empower communities to really come together to fight back against cancer.
Right.
So while the term is Relay for Life, it can take different forms, but we have different elements that we have to have in it. We went with cricket. This is our third installment, and we went with cricket. This is our second cricket FET match, and it's at the Oval this year. Last year it was down south in Taruba, and now we're in the Oval. Right. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone on Saturday.
All right, Shireen, tell us a little bit about what we can expect on Saturday.
So pretty much what we've done is we've pulled together an incredible all-stars team. And one of the things, let me stick up in to say that Riyad Emirates has also been a member of the board at the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society. And through his connections and his strength, and of course, you know, our chairman, Robert Dumas, is very involved in the sporting arena as well. So we've pulled together an incredible team of all-stars players, and they are going to be battling against a team called the National Warriors. In fact, they won the title last year. That's going to be captained by Riyad, and the all-stars team will be captained by Anisa Mohammed. It's a mixed game with men and women, and they've already stood up with the Cancer Society since last year and really working alongside us to stand together in the fight against cancer. So it's a T20 game taking place at the Oval, starts at 3, and there's some ceremonial elements of this event as well that it's really important to note. So at the start of every Relay for Life initiative, we honor and celebrate cancer survivors. So we want to invite as many people as we can to come on down, get your tickets, join us in that lap around the Oval where we honor and celebrate life, but honor those who have passed from cancer and those who are battling the disease right now.
How have you seen athletes, prominent national and regional athletes, how have you seen their involvement in carrying the message of cancer spread over the last 3 years? Do you feel it's been successful in getting these national names to raise more awareness?
I'll take that question, or Dr. LeBlanc. I don't want. Let me put in my 2 cents. You know, we've never had a situation where we've gone to somebody and asked them to stand with us. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete, a professional, because cancer is not exclusive to any one group, any one organization. And so the athletes have really, I mean, Riyad himself, he lost his dad to cancer a few years ago. So cancer, as Dr. LeBlanc would say, I mean, I know she's there almost every Tuesday, talking about what we do at the Cancer Society, but it's touched everyone in one way or the other. And so it was very, very easy. We just had to say the word and they were on board. I mean, you may have seen on our socials that we have people like Akil Hussein and Kyron Pollard, and they're all sort of testimony that we just need to say the word and they're there and they're supporting us, they're helping us to promote the event. So I mean, that has been an incredible show of support for the Cancer Society, and it's how we've always operated. We've always had that level of support with, you know, every sector, every group, every community.
Dr. LeBlanc, same question, but also sport as a vehicle to drive the message home when it comes to cancer awareness.
Yeah, definitely. So it's because we always speak about cancer being a lifestyle disease, and one of the key foundations or pillars in the foundation of lifestyle diseases and fighting them, it's your healthy lifestyle in terms of your activity. So using sport as a way to be proactive and involving the younger generations as well. And not only that, using our sport. So sport that is native to our region is so important. And so bringing that integration and showing how we can do that to promote healthy lifestyles is so key to fighting cancer at this time. And you know, Ryan, it's summer vacation. People need less screen time for their children. Yeah. Those who don't know about cricket, come and find out what a T20 is. But just really and truly, there's not one room you can go in and say, have you been touched by cancer? And you don't see almost 9 out of 10 hands raised. Yeah? And that is what's important. But it's such an empowering event. So we welcome everyone, come down, you know, enjoy.
I know that you're here almost week in, week out, discussing all things cancer, having that conversation, which, by the way, is very important. It wasn't like this 10 years ago when I
know, we used to be so taboo.
Yeah. And also, you know, there was this fear of instilling fear in people. For some reason, that makes sense. But also, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if we've just gotten better at coverage, but there seems to be a lot more cancer stories emerging. And maybe it's social media. Maybe it's because I'm on social media, I'm seeing it popping up on my feed more. Maybe I'm clicking it too much. So the algorithm is giving me.
So there are a few factors. So first of all, over the years, the medical fraternity has recognized the need to debunk and to share information and empower the populations on all diseases, and cancer is one of those diseases. However, by promoting screening, which is for early detection, which promotes survivorship with cancer, as I say to people, we're looking for trouble. So when you look for something in a so-called normal population, you're going to find more disease. But guess what? We're going to find the disease at earlier stages. So breaking that down, and then people want to share. If you look, I mean, and from COVID, I mean, we shared everything, right? There was nothing that wasn't shared on during COVID.
Overload.
Right. So now everyone wants to share their story, and I appreciate that. But we also have to be very cautious about the information that comes out there. So this is where the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society is definitely forging the way so that we debunk the myth, so you don't think that a diagnosis equates cancer. So you don't have that anxiety if you're going to screen, that you understand what screening is about. You know, even in our population in 2025, people are afraid of pap smears. Men are afraid of prostate exams. Nobody wants to do a colonoscopy. And the list goes on. And why? Because of our cultural taboos from over generations. So we're breaking through that. And it's amazing to see the younger generations and you know, just what happens. And that's why you're seeing that on your algorithm, because it's being pushed from all angles. And we recommend just look at your sources, but don't be afraid of a diagnosis and know when the screening is appropriate for you.
All of those tied into one. Shireen, I want to bring you back here. All of that Dr. LeBlanc just mentioned, the pushing of the information, credible information, the messaging, do you feel like it's been 3 years since Relay for Life, it's been 3 years since Batting Against Cancer, do you feel that you guys have had the progress and the type of success you want in getting that message out and go screen, keep getting tested, etc.?
Absolutely. I want to say that we're not thinking about the past 3 years and the Relay for Life initiative alone, but the Cancer Society is a 55-year-old organization, and we work every single day taking screening into remote and underserved communities. Dr. LeBlanc can attest to this. We go into high schools for certain periods over the year where we get approval from the Ministry of Education to go into high schools and talk to young people. So we've really transformed how we educate at the Cancer Society. Yes, there's more cancer, so a lot more work needs to be done. So we are looking at this and the bigger picture about going into the next 50 and focusing on education, focusing on screening, which is the main objective of the Cancer Society. But to go back to Relay for Life, we've seen it growing, like Dr. LeBlanc said, and also it's important to know that we are one of only 33 countries around the world that is aligned with the American Cancer Society in this way, and we really think that we're not only putting Trinidad and Tobago on the map with our Batting Against Cancer and bringing our culture to the forefront, but we're really elevating who we are as an organization and how key and important it is for us to continue to collaborate with international organizations like the Cancer Society. So yes, we've done so much work in the last decade, but we recognize that there's so much more still to do, you know?
Much more.
Yeah. Dr. LeBlanc, just before I asked you to give the details on how people can attend at the Queen's Park Oval this weekend, I know it's something that you reiterate probably several times a day or several times a week, but what is a good age for people, men, women, when it comes to prostate, breast cancer, to start screening? How often would you recommend that they continue screening? And I know that many people of our viewers would probably already know this information. I know that you repeat this a lot, but still for first time, for those who might be doing it first time, for those who might actually be paying attention to me for once.
For once, right? So no, definitely. So the cancers we screen for are cervical cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colorectal cancer. So cervical cancer, we usually recommend once a woman or a young lady starts having sexual relations, 3 years after they commence relations, they start having their pap smears. We recommend at least 3 annual pap smears, and once those are normal, depending on the lifestyle of that female, then they can do it every 2 to 3 years. For breast cancer, we usually look at the person's family history, the woman's family history, and her individual personal medical history. We usually start screening between 35 to 40 years of age, and that's with your mammogram. However, we actually start screening before, from when you start having your period, with your self-breast examinations and your clinical breast examination. Between 35 and 40, we do the annual mammogram and the breast ultrasound. That's the new guideline now because a lot of us have dense breast tissue. So we recommend maybe your first one being the mammogram and ultrasound to determine what your density of your breast tissue is. For prostate cancer screening, again, based on family history, but in general, we start at 40 years of age for the men, and they do the PSA. And most men don't want to do it, but it's the DRE, which is the rectal exam. We, at this stage, still recommend both, encourage both, but we understand the fare, so we take the PSA alone if that's all you want. That is annual.
Right.
Colorectal cancer screening, we offer at the Cancer Society the FIT, which is a fecal immunochemical test. That is the initial and the cheapest screening test, but the gold standard screening is colonoscopy. So from about 45 to 50 years of age, again, depending on your family history, we recommend you start with the FIT if you can't afford the colonoscopy. But if that FIT comes out positive, then the colonoscopy has to be done. Once you do your first colonoscopy, then the gastroenterologist who performs that procedure will then determine your the period that you repeat. Yeah?
Finally, Dr. LeBlanc, can you remind us how we can attend on Saturday afternoon at the Oval?
Yes, we buy tickets. We can call Shireen and her team at 280-4536, 280-3353. You can email us at projects@cancer.tt. Trinbago events online for your tickets. Physical tickets are from Shireen and her team. We will have tickets at the door because this is a West Indian cricket match and we're ready for you at the door. It's July 19th, so it's this Saturday from 3 p.m. And we're going to have a lot going on. We have our Global Hero for Hope, who is Dr. Mariama Allen. And it's so important to see her because she's, for once, representing blood cancers because she's a survivor of multiple myeloma. And so we do not shed enough light on blood cancers, and I promise we will, but this is amazing. So she's going to lead us. But come on down, enjoy. The kids are on summer vacation. You need things to do that don't involve, they're not costly. and start learning your national sport. So, come on down, but definitely come on, have fun. We know there's a lot of donor fatigue out there in terms of people saying, oh God, another fundraiser, but really and truly, this is fun. It's for a great cause. And most importantly, Ryan, remembering those we've lost and celebrating survivorship.
And you could never really have enough. Cancer is very costly.
Cancer is costly, so you'll be amazed at how you'll be empowered. You'll see survivors. You'll see what survivorship looks like. You share your stories. You hear stories. You're empowered. It might just touch you in ways you don't understand, and that is what's important about life these days.
Dr. Asante LeBlanc, Shireen Mungal, thank you all very much for being on the program.
Ryan, before I go, I have a little friend called Jonathan Thomas, and I have to say hi to him because he looks at me every Tuesday morning. So hi, Johnny, enjoy your summer.
All right. Hi, Jonathan, and we wish you a wonderful day on behalf of all of us. You've just seen Dr. LeBlanc. You'll see her again next week, Tuesday, as well. As we wrap this interview, I do want to say something very quickly. I want to congratulate the managers of the WE Women's Empowerment magazine that do the Sunday Guardian Women's Empowerment magazine, because I was mentioning to Dr. LeBlanc, I've seen this uptick in stories when it comes to cancer survivors, when it comes to cancer on the whole, and they do this incredible job of highlighting particularly women, but also sometimes men as well, who are cancer survivors, who are battling, and that really does. It's so important to those who are currently in the midst of that battle, to give them hope, to give them reason to be optimistic. That's so important. So congratulations to them. Up to last night, Christopher Muhammad, an Upper East College student, we saw his story as well being aired, and his hope for help. So, we can never tell enough of these stories. There can never be enough donations as well in the fight against cancer. I just wanted to put that on record before we head to this break. Dr. Asante LeBlanc, Shireen Mungal, thank you all very much for joining us for once again on Cancer Conversations. They'll be back again next week, certainly Dr. LeBlanc. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
The biggest business-to-business event of the year is here. The Trade and Investment Convention, July 17th to the 19th at the Center of Excellence, Macoya. It's the Caribbean's biggest business-to-business with over 300 amazing exhibitors from Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the world. Register to attend for free at www.ttma.com/TIC. Connect, discover, grow at TIC 2025.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Inside every cell is a metabolic engine AMPK. Berberine Plus helps ignite that engine, turning sugar into energy and fat into fuel. Whether you're managing sugar or trimming fat, Berberine Plus supports your goals naturally. Berberine Plus, now available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide.
New Superstay Teddy Tint from Maybelline, New York. Blurred mattes, no transfer. Up to 12-hour wear and a plush feel. New Superstay Teddy Tint, Maybelline, New York.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
On Saturday, July 27th, the Lydians will be having a major concert in Diego Martin at the Church of the Nativity. I have Siobhan Brathwaite with me, as well as Mariel Cooper-Lynch. Welcome to the program. Appreciate you guys being on here. This is an important concert, and tell me why, Siobhan.
Yes. So on Sunday, the 27th of this month, we'll be having a fundraiser concert. It's somewhat part of our biannual mid-year show. This year, we're doing a fundraiser for the Mary Care Home, which tragically was destroyed some months ago by fire. So therefore, this concert called The Light Within, a Spiritual Celebration is geared towards spreading good news, spreading the story about the light within and also the light of God. And we are doing this concert specifically to help raise funds for the Mary Care Home.
The Light Within, a Spiritual Celebration, Mariel, a theme that really couldn't come at a better time, not only nationally, but globally.
Indeed, Ryan. Yes. So, I mean, everybody's going through, we're all going through it in some way or another. And we could get a bit bogged down by, if I want to call it, the darkness, be it personally, be it nationally, even, family-wise, professionally. There's a lot that's holding people down. So, and even in the case of the Mary Care Center, and for them and the tragedy that they have experienced, and in light of what the kind of, how to call it, the service or what they provide, that light that we have to bring, that light that we have committed to bringing to them in helping restore and rebuild their home, it's needed. We need light. We need light just in our rooms, to see where we're going.
We need light in our lives as well.
Exactly.
But you explained it so very well. Everybody's going through something. It's simple, but such a profound statement. How would you say the music of the Lydians, through the theme of the light within, a spiritual celebration, can, if not for one day, certainly for a few hours, bring some level of peace and tranquility to the people that attend on July 27th?
Well, that's a really good question, Ryan. So there's music, there's quite a bit of music that we're doing. It's a variety. So we have our classical, we have a lot of spiritual. I mean, it's mostly spiritual music, even with African roots. We have a lot of music that is arranged by some of our, I'll call them internal arrangers. One even arranged by Siobhan, who's our musical director.
Yeah.
We have music, you know, there's Waloyo Yamuni, which I'm actually singing a solo part on, and that is about the rain and bringing the rain. So it's music that part of our mission is to bring solace where there is grief and to bring comfort where there is despair. Yes. The entire Lydians mission statement speaks very much to what our purpose is, bringing light and bringing hope in any scenario, in any situation where hope is needed.
You know, I want to spend at least 1 or 2 minutes, Siobhan, talking about Lydians. I know that we're here to talk about the concert, which is great, but Lydians, it really is an important part of the cultural, artistic landscape of this country, as it has been for many decades now. You are now musical director, and for those of you watching at home, the musical director is perhaps one of the most important roles. He's the guy who will be doing all of the, and I'm getting the notes wrong, but yeah. Being musical director for such an important cultural, part of our architecture in this country, how does that feel? How have you seen the Lydians grow into what it is today?
Wow. So indeed, the Lydians for the last 46 years has contributed to the cultural landscape of Trinidad and Tobago, most notably through Pat Bishop, our longest.
That's the name synonymous with Lydians.
She's the longest serving artistic and music director we've ever had. So therefore, because of her, our mission of national service became very important to us. So therefore, this is not the first time we're doing a fundraiser. We did one about 2 years ago at the Church of the Nativity to help raise funds for young persons who needed to travel to continue their theological studies. We can be found in national events. We have seen us across the cultural landscape. But with regards to growth, one of the things I have noticed since getting involved over the last 3 years is to see the growth of the Lydian steel, which is one of the 3 arms of the Lydians. So we have the Lydian singers, the senior choir we call them, then we have the Lydian steel, and then we have now the Lydian Tacomas, also known as our junior arm. So therefore, over the last 3 years, we have grown in numbers by adding a youth arm. So for this show, you're going to see an increased number of performances coming from the Lydian steel. So therefore, they are no longer going to be only seen as an accompanying ensemble, but actually as a performance ensemble on their own. And then we have the Lydian Tacomas, who also have an increased number of performances, and you're going to see them hone their own. You're going to see the students, take their place on stage, become part of the family, and we will also see everyone coming together, all 3 arms, and that's when you're going to experience the power that is the Lydian.
Marielle, the Tacomas also ensure another 46 years of the Lydians.
Yes, that's right. And that was the whole purpose behind it, because we have to be looking at continuity. We have to look at succession, because we're not here just for a time. We'll say we're all here for a time, but we have to ensure we have a responsibility to ensure that the Lydian singers or the Lydians, the family, continues to be part of the cultural landscape, continues to be part of building our cultural landscape and preserving that what we know, as Trinidadians, as Trinbagonians, that music, the music and fusion of steel and youth, and really it's so important that we even have that vehicle for young people to express themselves and to discover their fullest potential.
I'll add one more, the legacy of the great Pat Bishop as well.
And that, indeed.
I have 30 seconds left. Tell us where we can get tickets. You tell us how much the tickets are.
So tickets are $250 advance purchase, $300 at the door. You can get tickets at the Church of the Nativity. You can also get tickets at the Mary Care Home. You can reach out to one of their personnel. You can reach out to any Lydian member. Also, you can call our ticket hotline. You can reach out to Margaret at 623-9 9255, extension 1130. That's 623-9255, extension 1130. Or you can reach out to Phaedra at 620-4717, 620-4717.
Siobhan Brathwaite, Marielle Cooper-Leach, thank you all very much. Good luck with the concert, Church of the Nativity in Diego Martin on Sunday, July 27th. What's the time?
It's starting at 6 p.m. We ask patrons to be seated by 5:45.
Be seated by 5:45. It starts at 6 in the evening. Let's take a break here on The Morning Brew. We'll be back to wrap the show after this.
I'm looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw material.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
Ready to turn heads and steal the spotlight? Then head to Rosari Bridal Couture, your all-in-one fashion destination for every celebration. From stunning bridal lehengas to simple everyday showers, sparkling jewelry, affordable kids wear, stylish Muslim clothing, and even puja essentials, we've got it all under one roof. Get free footwear with any bridal outfit and get free matching bangles with kids wear. Need the perfect fit? Our in-house tailor is here for you. We're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just take the Southern Highway to Brentwood, Chaguanas and call 723-9099 for more info. Rosari Bridal Couture, where fashion meets celebration, all inclusive.
All good things come to an end. Thank you very much for joining us for The Morning Brew this morning. We had some fantastic conversations over the last 2 hours. Thank you very much to the team as well, rolling to the right of your screen, who would have shown up this morning to put this program on air. We always appreciate their efforts. We want to take this opportunity to wish you a wonderful, safe day. Be the absolute best that you can be today.
The Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.